Hello. Before we get started, I just want to give a quick disclaimer that this game is a bit of a long one. This will probably be like one of my longest videos ever. And I'm going to try to go a little bit more in depth with some of the moves and like kind of speculate a little bit, which will add to the length. But other times I'm just going to go pretty fast if not a lot's happening. So just be prepared for that. I might miss important things as a result. I'm not the best at evaluating positions in the game. Like Alaga2 had that one video of like who's winning, how to tell who's winning, and it's mostly for Fog, right? But he's like, oh, here's a quiz at the end. And then I was like 0 for 7 or something. Like I think I got maybe one right. And it was like one of those, he was like, you could say this person is slightly winning, or you could say it's a draw. And I think I said the person was slightly winning. So just, I cannot evaluate positions, but I'm going to do my best. This is a turn, and where I kind of go in a little more depth with this match is it's a tournament match. This is a viewer submitted game. So thank you for those submissions. Keep them coming. I really enjoy looking at them and enjoy the ego boost. I'm just kidding about that, but this is a very, very interesting match, and I feel like we can learn a lot from it. And if you have any thoughts about the strategies and stuff played in this match, please drop them down in the comments, because I like hearing other people's opinion about things and having that discussion. But we've got, this is from the Quack Cup, and this Quack Cup's theme is tag battles. I think every round is a tag battle. The Quack Cup, I believe this tournament started, I forget when it started. I don't know. I'm not going to act like I know because I totally forgot. But I think this is round 1. And there is no restrictions on the COs, so you can even use busted COs like Colin and Kanbei. Colin, unit cost is reduced to 80%, so units are 20% cheaper but lose -10 attack. And that is flipped on its head with Kanbei. Units cost 20% more to build, but gain 30% attack and defense, which was nerfed to 20% in Dual Strike, but they like to keep the Advanced Wars 2 versions of COs here for those COs that were out before Dual Strike. So Kanbei's stats are absolutely busted. His powers, Morale Boost, and Samurai Spirit increase those stats even further, making his units basically invincible. And then Colin's powers, you got Gold Rush, which multiplies your current bank by 1.5. So you're basically just sitting in a tub of cash like Mr. Krabs. And Power of Money, definitely the most Mr. Krabs superpower of the game. You get, I forget, like some increment of firepower for every dollar or whatever you have banked up. So Colin likes to just keep popping that Gold Rush. And then get all that money, and then use Power of Money, and then can one-shot mega tanks with infantry if you have like, I don't know, like 1 million or 3 million or something like that in your bank. But the strategy with Colin Kanbei is Colin starts early, gets a lot of cheap units out on the field, and then switches to Kanbei, and suddenly they're really strong units. And then Colin will just keep popping that Gold Rush, spend all that cash, and switch to Kanbei. And that is piloted by Barack J81, who I feel like I've played, but I haven't. I know my one friend played Barack J81 as their very first Global League game. It's a very interesting game. So that's how I know of this player. I don't know what their rating is right now. Okay, I just checked. Brock J is 760 and Blue Bounce is 979 as of 2 seconds ago. And Blue Bounce is playing Double Drake, which sounds like the worst thing ever. I imagine Double Drake is like that Sprite commercial where the guy's in the elevator and the 2 sumo wrestlers come and squish him with their fat. Because that Double Drake sounds miserable. The point of Double Drake is to keep popping the normal power Tsunami. That deals 1 damage to all enemy units and drains half their fuel. So you pop Tsunami, switch to the other Drake, get charged, pop Tsunami, and just keep switching and popping. Sounds pretty brain dead to me. But Drake's power, naval units gain +1 movement and +10 defense. Air units lose 30% attack. And unaffected by rain, because Drake's superpower causes rain. But we're not going to see that. Usually when you see these doubles, it's usually to keep popping that normal power. Or at least those with global damage. So you got these airports over here, but Drake will not be able to make as good use of his. And in fact, like a Drake copter against the Kanbei copter is just an instant loss for Drake. I mean, that 30% extra defense and the -30% attack, just not a good combination there. But yeah, we got this serious tournament match right here. I've got no idea about this opening. Drake is kind of skipping the airport. Not a bad play. The airport will be easily able to get captured eventually. You don't really need it that early, especially as Drake going for like the comm tower, maybe going for this one. And starting the middle, okay, now blue's going to start this over here in the middle. And these two are blues, these two are browns. This is blues, this is browns, and then we're going to see after kind of the battle lines get established, we're going to start seeing some fighting. And then Kanbei will come in off the bench and get tagged in and be ready to battle. You switch at the end of your turn, and I'm not really too good at tag battles, which made me kind of reluctant to review this one, because I don't really know what I'm talking about. This is like a learning experience for me. And we are pushing forward. And there's the swap to Kanbei. That might be a little bit premature, to be honest, because this tank can hit this right here. So I guess that's why the swap was there. Against Colin, it would be a lot different, but against Kanbei, it's actually a great trade for Kanbei over here. Even with the first strike, it's like a high roll. It's a 6/6, so very good for Kanbei there. So probably why there was a switch there. But this tank, I think maybe you could have just left it one space back, and then you wouldn't have to worry about switching and keep pumping out cheap units with Colin, because we're not going to see any attacks. The tank just pulls back, and good patience by Drake. And the other thing about Drake's strategy is Drake wants to attack when Colin is in and pull back when Kanbei is in. Because Colin's got that weaker stats, and Kanbei's got those busted stats, so Drake is going to try and like time the attacks to when Colin is in. So it goes in over here, a decent engagement, because that Kanbei can just do that because his units are busted. We also have a copter coming in as well, so we'll probably see an anti-air from Brown, and artillery also from Brown. Maybe you might see an HQ push, but it'd be pretty hard to get through with Kanbei. And nice shot there. A 6/7, usually you see a 6/7 when you're attacking them on a city, but with that Kanbei, even that shoal defense is like they're on a city. So, and then this copter can easily come and trade this tank out as well. Takes a shot there, again winning for Kanbei. And now back to Kanbei. So taking a shot there and kills that tank. Probably just a slight little thing there. This tank didn't need to take this one extra point of damage. You could just use the copter and hit that, and then use the tank to finish it off. And goes in on some infantry, but only able to get one shot in. Copter's actually not going in. There's no copter anti over here for Brown to trade, and there's no way that copter can get surrounded. So maybe we'll see the copter go in right now. Yep, there it goes. So just switching the order would have saved 1 HP on the tank. Not the biggest deal in the world, but it's a good habit to get into. Attack with copters first. And now back to Colin. So good swap there. You know, not a whole lot of brawling is going to be going on, so good idea to swap there. This infantry is going to, before we get there, this infantry is going to try and weasel his way onto this city into the corner and just swipe it right under Blue's nose. And now goes in on the tank, knocks it down to 3. And without that Kanbei extra stats, this anti-air engagement's not bad. Also, it can lock down that copter. This 5 HP tank is too far. And goes for the roll, cannot get it. But goes for a shot of this infantry, knocking it down to 3. And, okay, now we see a copter out from Drake. And just to put this into perspective, like, let's say going up against the Kanbei copter, right? It is a major losing engagement for Drake, even if Drake attacks first. It's like a 7-5 or a 7-4 or something. So that's just the power of those extra firepower bonuses in Drake's -3 firepower, or -30%, I mean. Just absolute trash Drake is. Uh, yeah, I don't know if many of you around for some of my earlier videos where I said Drake is my least favorite, because in Dual Strike, the Drake clone mission, I just had so much trouble with that as a kid, and now I have a vendetta against Drake, so definitely pulling for blue on this one, and blue's got my penguins. But going in on that city right there, gonna uninterruptible from blue there, so that city's gonna be brown. And now brown shifts over. This anti-air though, okay, I don't think it can be shot by the tanks. So you gotta be careful with these copters running around. You need that anti-air a lot, because you could not counter can-based copters with your own copters. You're doing 3 damage. And now blue goes over here, so ready to trade out this infantry as soon as it takes the city, and goes in for the interrupt. And now here's the tank ready to reinforce. Unfortunately, this copter is going to get surrounded, and then the anti-air will be able to trade it off. And we have a medium tank as well. Colin can pump out these cheap, or these medium tanks cheaply, and it's going in towards the middle as well. But he's got to face down 2 artilleries, and nice little defensive formation over here from blue. Takes out a couple infantry, and now blue is winning hard on the right side as well, with a ton of infantry to brown's 1, and maybe this second one will go over, maybe this copter will go over, but I think now blue needs to start making a push on this right side. And there's another cap, and there's the copter being surrounded. Anti-air goes to the city. The problem is it is well within tank range, so Kanbei can come in and just blast it to smithereens, or at least do significant damage, so maybe the copter won't be able to get traded out. Another artillery. Brown is definitely a student of Toulouse, or whoever's known for spamming artillery. I think a lot of people are, like Tesla too. The adder also spams artillery. So definitely a student of the game right there. And trades out that infantry, starts that city, and there's the tank taking a shot. 5-8. This anti-air will be healed up to 7 and will probably be able to take out that copter, or at least do a ton of damage. Oh, good shot there, interrupting, but what else is that copter going to do? And take a shot on this tank, so this tank can't easily trade out that right there, but it is in artillery range, so and our artillery still do good against Kanbei units. And now going in on the right side, anti-air comes up to cover as well, covering all these infantry. Medium tank's going to sit here, and there's a tsunami coming in. That we've detected some tectonic activity. Back to Colin for the tsunami attack. Bang. And the good thing is Colin's got the cheap repairs. Another thing to notice when you're looking at the scoreboard, right, we got a huge unit value here, and then do the go fast and then swap out to Colin. That unit value drops precipitously because it takes in consideration that unit cost when you build them, so that 20% cheaper or more expensive gets reflected in the scoreboard as well. So just be aware of that when glancing over there at the scoreboard. Okay, artillery without that Kanbei defense easily takes out that tank right there. Also, nice shot there. Going in on the infantry, trades out, and now's the time for Drake to go in. You got that power, got that fuel drain. Can't get the roll there, but now goes in on this infantry, takes out the penguin there. Goes in, bang, takes out that penguin, and gets a nice shot on that penguin on the shoulder there. Nice little shot blocking the isthmus, or whatever you call it, so blue can't easily reinforce. Takes a shot on that infantry as well. Artilleries move up, and the medium tank will be able to shoot one, but get blasted by the... Oh, well, unless the medium tank shoots from here, it'll be safe from this artillery, actually. And takes a shot here as well. Copter might as well just take a shot there. And now back to blue after we have a swap to the Drake with halfway to the tsunami. So just gonna keep seeing those tsunamis over and over, like Castaway when he first gets on the island and he keeps like trying to beat the waves in his little rowboat and he just can't do it, or his raft or whatever. I forget if there's like a rowboat on the island he tried to use, or it was a raft. I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but it does not matter. Medium tank goes in on that infantry right there and takes a shot on the artillery, only knocking it down to 6, and that's the problem. This artillery will still do significant damage on medium tank unless you see a Kanbei switch in, and it goes in 8-3, not terrible. Goes in on these infantry right here as well, and takes a shot, takes a couple shots, but right now Brown's got a really strong presence on this middle island right here. So I'm thinking that blue needs to shift towards the HQ. You have 3 units within this HQ's vicinity. You got the copter, you got the artillery, and you got this 3 HP infantry, right? This 9 also can go take a free shot at this infantry, take it out. Then you threatening this city, you can get closer to the HQ. This 9 can move up, threaten this city. Tank can move up as well, and you have a massive attack on the HQ. Fuel drain, yeah, that's going to be an issue for sure. This artillery's got 25 fuel left, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait. You could go here, yeah, so maybe I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, you do that, you hit the infantry right there, you're down to 19 fuel, then half your fuel gets drained, so you're down to 10 fuel. You can still cover everything you need to cover close to the HQ with 10 fuel. Also, if you get these cities, you can just park your low fuel vehicles on them and get repaired. You can also build an APC and have the APC push with your column and refuel those vehicles as well. But I think this HQ is looking very weak. This island is looking really strong for Brown. And I think attacking, and yeah, there goes the tank, taking a shot at that infantry, but the anti-air goes in, maybe trying to protect from all this, but you don't need to be worried about these copters. They have minus 30% attack. You have another anti-air you just built. I think the anti-air needs to go over here and help with this HQ push. I think fighting over the middle at this point in time is a bit of a mistake. Blue is really strong over here, about to get these cities. And also, I should note, this tournament has a 35-day limit. Whoever has the most cities at the end of the 35 will win the game. And I don't know what happens if it's a draw. And there's another tsunami, so we see a lot of fuel getting drained, but you can join these weakened units, and it adds their fuel. So that's one way to counter the fuel drain. Cannot get the roll right there, does get the roll right there, and takes out that tank as well. Artilleries all move up, and Brown is now preparing a defensive formation. The 2 copters hit that, but with that cannon bay extra defense, nothing's getting taken out, and takes a shot at the infantry, able to take that out. And with those 2, takes that guy out as well. So, with the exception of his medium tank, which is now down to 7, it is going to get repaired and refueled though, because it's on the city right now. Brown has pretty much won the island, and you got all these artilleries pointed at that city. So I just think Blue needs to still has a really strong presence over here. Shift over here, right? This anti-air though, yeah, this anti-air trades out this copter. This anti-air goes up here, ready to counter this copter, and this anti-air can trade out this copter. I mean, so yeah, this is how you play the anti-airs, in my opinion. You have this anti-air trade out this 9. You have this anti-air move up and counter this copter, and you have this anti-air trade out this 9. I think that's how you do it here. And swapping again, ready for another tsunami. Okay, so that anti-air does trade out the copter there. A bunch of stuff gets captured over here, and there's the Samurai Spirit. Now we've got mega stats for Kanbei. And this anti-air trades out that copter right there, goes in on the artillery. That thing has no chance. That artillery also no chance. And bang. This anti-air goes in and takes a shot at the 4. I understand your low fuel. 11 fuel, not a lot. You can go here, or you can go 1. I think you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, there's another tsunami coming. So you go, I think you go here, right next to the city, and then you can use, you're gonna have like 5 fuel left, so then you're gonna have 3 after the next tsunami. You can easily get back on the city, get refueled, and then you're covering the tank, you're covering all these infantry right here. Right now there's no counter to this copter. I just think this shot is not worth it. You're killing a 4 HP infantry, attack the HQ. It's so weak over here for Brown. You're fighting into the bulk of Brown's army right here, and it's funny saying bulk with Drake. Okay, that was pretty bad. That was bad. The artillery over here knocks this thing down because we had a call and swap. Maybe it's just holding on to Kanbei, even though you don't get charged, you still have that those invincible units with the Samurai Spirit. So maybe holding on to Kanbei makes a little more sense, but Blue is trying to pop that gold rush and get all this income. Takes out the medium tank though. There's another tsunami, and now Drake is about to just clean up. Bang! Takes out infantry and kind of regroups over here. Maybe Brown will push the HQ. takes a nice shot on the tank there. Another shot knocks it all the way down to 1 HP. And this infantry's got no chance. Man, imagine an anti-air right here. It wouldn't be an issue at all. And this infantry also no chance. Can't quite get the roll there. Maybe that wasn't a roll. Maybe it's just guaranteed one. Takes a shot at this anti-air as well. And now Brown has destroyed the medium tank, and Blue has no infantry over here to capture cities. Where's all the infantry to capture things? Over here on the right, where Blue should be going, in my opinion. Imagine if that anti-air was right here. Then the anti-air can go on that. Well, the copter wouldn't have taken that shot. The anti-air can go on that city, get refueled. The tank also could have gone on this city to get refueled, and would just be prepared for a push. It would take so long for Drake to ship this army all the way up here. Drake could probably try to come down and push the HQ if you like swung everything up there. But all you have to do is hold this area and attack the HQ. But Blue is determined to fight in the middle, and there's a shot right there on the anti-air. There's a shot from the copter, but this copter is going to get traded between this anti-air and this copter. Probably do enough damage to do it, even with Kanbei coming in. We have a gold rush, and now Blue's got 40k in the bank. So we have another medium tank coming in, and a couple small vehicles as well, and switches to Kanbei. Now Brown's going to start this. Only this 1 HP tank can actually interrupt. Bang, takes out that tank on the city there. And yep, between the almost takes out that anti-air there, but this 2 HP able to take out the 1 HP. And taking some free shots over here. This anti-air is not close enough. Pretty much trades out that copter. It survives with 1 HP, which does, this 6 would have to go around to hit this anti-air, and then it would probably get hit by this 9, but no, it goes for a roll, and the copter can't quite get it. But I mean, there's only 1 infantry in the area for Blue. Like, I think Blue needs to attack on the right side. I'm just going to keep echoing that the whole game. Medium tank knocks the copter down to 1 HP, finish off the anti-air, allowing this copter to finish it off. This city is going to go through, though. These copters are probably going to combine or go back on the airport to get healed and refueled. And the anti-air pushes up. A good shot. It is well within tank range, though, so we need some tank coverage over here. Another anti-air ready to counter the copter as well. So maybe you see this tank go to this city. Maybe you see this tank go up here to the silo. No, the tanks to go over here. Okay, so it's covering the anti-air from here. But the problem is, it's this, maybe, I mean, with the artillery, this tank, maybe this bridge can get broken through, and then these tanks can get hit, and then your anti-air is vulnerable. So, okay, taking down infantry there. And now, swaps to Colin, which, I mean, that's also dangerous considering a tsunami is coming in, and that, Drake does not need any other invitations. First, gonna get that, gets that much extra charge, and there's the tsunami. The waves crash down on Blue, and able to capture this city and take out take out that tank right there. And now Brown has successfully defended the, oh my gosh, absolutely demolishing that anti-air, and infantry is able to get the pickup. And now Brown has won the center island. Blue is actually up 4 cities because Blue's got these right here in Brown's territory, whereas Brown doesn't have these. But now Brown's about to take the middle island, and has pretty much completely conquered it. We got these 3 9 HP tanks and this infantry, and there's the gold rush. Now we're up to 33k. Copter is able to take a shot. This copter can trade though, so Blue's going to have to block, but the medium tank goes right into artillery range, and there's no way to break through and get to that artillery, so that medium tank is going to get clobbered. Probably Kanbei is going to switch in though, so it takes less damage. Tanks are taking out some units over here. Goes for the interrupt, at least delays it for a turn, and goes in on that tank, but can't really do a whole lot as Colin regroups over here, and this attack on the right side is pretty much dead. Then I think Blue can regroup and start attacking, but now that Brown's got mid control, Blue just fought a losing battle there, and now Brown can easily maybe push on the HQ, reinforce over here if necessary, help this column right here. And we see a rocket using that Colin discount to build the big Mamma Jamma. The rocket build comes in. And the rocket can go somewhere like here. It's protected by the sea tiles and can start shelling whatever happens to be on these two cities right here. Clang takes out that copter right there, and the medium tank, even with Kanbei, still takes 3 damage. So that's pretty good value for orange right there. Takes a shot, starts the cap, and there's the copter. Gets even 2 more damage. Now this copter will be able to come up and trade if this infantry gets taken out. Oh, this anti-air, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay, never mind. Anti-air is out of range, but maybe this copter, if blue can find a way to push through, but now brown is now shifted. The island is won, and now these units concentrate on their next objective, the HQ. And what is blue going to do? Blue is down 8 units. And these artilleries have made their weight in gold. Definitely a student of Tesla, the artillery user. And there's the morale boost, getting the extra firepower and defense to be able to go in, interrupt the cap, and take out another infantry. And anti-air decides to not ignore this, not go after this 4 HP copter, to go after the artillery to protect the tanks a little bit more. Interrupts that, and finishes it off with the anti-air. Now the rocket goes in this little corner, protected by the sea, and it watches over those 2 cities. So this copter can attack it, but it is going to get traded off by these anti-airs, obviously. As well, no, I didn't have any other thoughts there. Goes in for that copter trade. Oh my gosh, with that morale boost. Takes it out, no problem. But this copter is going to take a shot back, especially if we see another call and switch it. We got 28k in the bank, by the way. So we might see like smaller build and then a switch to call and just massively get that income. And maybe see some like Neo tanks or something like that. Okay. Anti-air, counter infantry saving about 5k and swaps back to Colin. Now, unfortunately, that's going to cause a tsunami. And bang, knocks us copter back down to 1 HP. Goes in on the anti-air, and the artillery shell these tanks, and goes in on the rocket, knocking it down to 7. The rocket won't be able to get a massive shot on that tank though, and this 9 HP can trade out the copter right there. Finishes off the copter with some infantry, and takes out some units, and now is pushing towards the HQ. We got the artilleries over here. This city's got 2 capture points left. Takes a shot right there. We'll get traded by the anti-air, but here's that unit that was right there. And goes in, finishes off the tank, finishes off that infantry right there, and blue was so strong over here, and now no more. Blue is still up 4 cities, but if brown wins this area, can get this city back, these 2, then now brown will be ahead, and especially if this city gets flipped as well. Keeps going in, can't take out the copter with the 3 HP infantry. The copter was at a high 1 or something like that. And now swaps. Colin's got 22,000 in the bank and takes a shot there and interrupts, but can't quite. Oh, actually does get it. He needed to knock that thing down to a 1 and got exactly that with that 1 HP infantry. So the city is saved for the next turn anyway. Now this infantry needs to totally die or else the city will go through. And use the anti-air to trade out the copter and trades out this copter as well. And this tank this rocket does 5 damage to the tank. Not bad. Maybe this anti-air can actually come over and trade it. But it decides to go over here and goes in on the artillery, knocking it down to 2. This anti-air, I think the full HP anti-air would have guaranteed killed this tank. But I don't know about with Colin. Let's see. Let's actually check. Full HP anti-air on tank. Okay. Got the highest roll. Okay, so maybe this isn't bad. But at the same time, the tank's actually running out of ammo. Okay, going on that tank right there. Can't quite take it out. That Colin extra attack, Blue's really, or less attack, Blue's really feeling it. But Blue is also feeling that extra money just rolling in the dough like Mr. Krabs. Got 33k in the bank. And there's a copter, there's a tank, there's another medium tank, and there's another regular tank. Back to Kanbei. And we got, actually Colin's got another gold rush coming too. But I don't know if Blue can afford another turn as Colin, because Brown's about to smack with this tsunami. Takes that medium tank down to 2 HP, and the anti-air could not quite finish it off. Should have popped the tsunami beforehand. then that medium tank would be guaranteed dead. But now there's the tsunami. Joining caps there, and infantry takes it out. And oh man, that Kanbei copter with that Drake reduced firepower, almost wins that engagement as the defender. And finishes off that infantry right there and backs off over here. Still got to do something about this rocket before blue can take either of those. Rocket's only got 12 fuel, so the rocket's going to have to reposition. Maybe go on the city, but I think brown can break through it. And we have so many artilleries. We've got 7 artilleries. Definitely a Giga Chad move there. You got to have all there's another artillery. We've got 8 artilleries on the field. All the artilleries. Artillery's MVP. Artilleries are the best unit in the game. Takes out that, almost takes out artillery. And look, I mean, this is just how good artilleries are. You can't even kill it, man. Not an HP tank, even with Kanbei's extra attack, the artillery still survives on a 0 defense tile, no less. Cannot get that interrupt, so it is getting flipped next turn. Takes out the infantry, and we're almost, I mean, we're past, let's see, 35 is the day limit, so we're over halfway through the game right now as we're approaching day 20. Takes a shot right in artillery range, though. That tank's not going to make it. Not gonna make it indeed, unless you pop morale boost or something. And goes in, taking out the artillery, taking out some infantry, but unfortunately, these units are not gonna survive. And there's Colin. That defense is gone. Bang! That thing's at 1 HP. Bang! That thing does not. That 1 HP artillery still does nothing. Infantry finishes it off. That city does get converted. Now blue is only up 2 cities, and these infantry right here are gonna try and just waltz right in and grab these 2 right here. And blue has no infantry coverage. Takes out that tank as well with the artillery. Another artillery gets another kill, and there's another artillery kill right there. These artilleries are putting in work, and unfortunately this rocket was completely hanging to this copter right here, and now this rocket's at 1 HP. At least it survived, and the rocket can get repaired, but it is not looking too good for blue right now. Brown has successfully halted every one of blue's units. This infantry is going to try and get that city. This infantry is going to try and get that city, probably. And build some more units. Another artillery. We got to replace these artilleries that went down. And Clang, that copter does get traded. Takes a shot on the artillery, knocking down to 4. And Copper's able to take it out. No, not quite. Another artillery survives with 1 HP. These are the 2 Giga Chad artilleries. You could not take them out at all. But blue's fighting back into this. We need some support over here from brown, or else blue will just be able to recapture these cities right here. Regroups over here and just trying to play defense, or maybe regrouping for an attack. Also blocks for the rocket, but this copter can take out this 5, and this copter can hit the rocket. So the rocket could still die. I don't know how worth it is to sacrifice 2 copters for 1 HP rocket, but maybe brown can hit these anti-airs down. This tank can't reach. Maybe you have this tank go in, take out this anti-air. Then this tank, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this tank can not reach that no matter what. But maybe you could do some damage to these anti-airs over here. And there's the gold rush. Now we got 40k in the bank. And what's Colin gonna do with that? Build a battleship. He's got that admiral hat, and he is going to put that into good use and show him that he is got a better naval hat than Drake, because Drake has not busted out any naval units, and Colin is going to show Drake that he's the proper naval commander. Busted out the battleship. Now the battleship from the port locks down all of these cities right here and the HQ. And the best counter for a battleship? A submarine. But you cannot get a submarine through the shallow water over here, through the shoals. So submarine is out of the question. Next best counter, a bomber. But let's see how much a Drake bomber would do to a battleship. Let's see, where's Drake? There he is. Where's the bomber? There it is. And let's go Kanbei battleship on a port at 10 HP. Nothing. It just heals it right off. That battleship is going to be insane. And now there's Kanbei. There's a tsunami though. Gonna do some damage there, and goes in, starts this city right here. Nothing can interrupt over here, unless like this anti-air can't even trade the copter. And now goes in, takes out that unit right there, which allows the copter to take out the rocket. The poor rocket has fallen, and goes in on this anti-air right here, takes out that one as well. This copter will get traded though. This tank is gonna this medium tank is gonna take out that tank, and then the copter is gonna hit that, or the copter's gonna get traded by the anti-air there. I'm getting the units mixed up. This is a bit of an intense match. But you were warned. I had the disclaimer at the beginning. Bang! Takes out that copter right there. Artilleries knock down the anti-air to 6 HP. That copter is a goner. Even with this little monkey protection right here, like, it's not going to be good enough. And there's the Samurai Spirit. Bang! That tank had no chance. Neither had that copter. And neither does this artillery, but it survives with 2 HP because it's a Chad. Now goes in on that. Bang! Dead. What was that? Oh, the battleship. The battleship has struck and destroys that infantry. Not even a question what's going to happen. That copter is now basically crippled. Goes in, and those 2 Giga Chad artilleries have finally fallen. This tank goes back to get healed and refueled as well. And now Blue is starting another attack over on the right side. But here's the problem. Brown's got reinforcements, and it's got mid-control. So, pretty difficult to make that attack. And we might see a bomber to counter the battleship, but nothing yet. So maybe Brown just retreat over here. And now we're tied in cities, now that Brown's flipped this one. And there's another tsunami coming in. Artilleries do a lot of damage. That one, 2 HP, only does 1 HP to that tank, though. Takes out that anti-air and hits that infantry down to 1 HP because Colin's back in. Forgot to mention that. So now, when Colin goes in, Drake goes in and does all these attacks. What shot that? Oh, this 5 HP. Knocks it back down to 1 HP. Will this 1 HP copter be able to finish it off? Starts the city as well. There's no more rocket to defend it. And starts this one. Brown is now making a comeback. The 1 HP cannot trade it off, but this infantry finishes the job. The artillery's back off. And now another swap. Another tsunami's probably coming in. Interrupts the cap right there. Goes in with the anti-air, but it's in artillery range. Goes back to get refueled over here. Takes out, oh man, 1 HP. It's a medium tank, only knocks it down a little bit, and then the 1 HP does nothing. This tank goes in. It does 4 damage to that tank, but yeah, I mean, look at this. Look at this. This tank, even its Kanbei, has no chance of survival. Goes in for a copter attack. Bang, takes out that right there with the battleship, which allows the anti-air to come in and do nice damage to the copter. And does the 2 HP, knocks it down to 1. Alright, good roll there. Finishes off that infantry as well. So Blues halted the attack, but no healthy infantry to retake these cities. And there's the gold rush, 36k in the bank. And there's a bomber coming in. We are done messing around. These artilleries are about to get absolutely annihilated. The bomber has arrived on the scene. We're about to see some Dr. Strangelove action. Artillery, nice shot there on the anti-air, and this tank's able to finish it off. And with that mid-control, Drake is easily able to shift back. Now that Drake sets his eyes on these corner cities right here. Just got to play that day limit, you know, and takes out these low HP units, and finally is able to finish that off. Even with Kanbei, that 4 HP stood no chance. Almost have another tsunami. Will we see it this turn? Maybe this goes in, gets just enough charge. Is he gonna pop it? Pop it? Takes that out. No, does not pop the tsunami. I think popping the tsunami, though, would have been pretty good. You pop the tsunami and you put the other Drake in to get that charge. Oh, shoot. I skipped too far ahead. You pop the tsunami, this battleship's gotta get repaired. This bomber's gotta get repaired. So that's a lot of costs right there. And it's Kanbei's in, too. So it's like, those repair costs are gonna be extra. So I think the tsunami there would have been really good just to do some economic damage there to Blue. But you're gonna see the battleship just picking off infantry left and right. There is no shelter. There is no safety. Going in, knocks that thing down to 1. Now pushes up over here on the right side. bomber comes in, and there's no there's no anti over here from Brown to counter the bomber. There's no fighter. I wonder how much a Drake fighter does to a Kanbei bomber. Let's see. Let's see if it's a fighter. Oh, it only knocks the bomber down to 5. But if it's like anyone else, it's like a one-shot. So that's just the power of that minus 30% attack and plus 30% defense there. Just working in tandem to make blue dominate the skies. And swaps back to Colin. Now this city gets started, and this is guaranteed going through. And now Brown will have the lead. But blue's about to start this as well. And there's another tsunami coming in. And the artillery wall moves forward. And takes a shot there. Might as well. It's Colin. You know, you got to go in. Infantry gets really lucky on a high roll. Takes it out. And everything retreats over here. Still no anti-air over here to counter the bomber or a fighter. Oh, a bomber from Drake, actually. We see the Drake bomber, and that's how you know that Drake is going for this battleship right here. What else would you need that bomber for? These artillery are doing a great job on this medium tank right here. So I think the bomber, just priority target is that battleship. But like we said, like when Kanbei is in, that bomber's not doing a whole lot. Battleship shoots at the only target in its range, and now this infantry is going to try and flip this city back. Bomber comes in, takes out that tank right there, and moves up. All right, blue is now pushing for an attack. It's day 24, so just over 10 turns to go. Takes out the orange infantry, and there's the gold rush. Now we're at 22k, and builds some more units and swaps back to Kanbei. Goes in. What? What? That did nothing! That did absolutely nothing to that infantry right there. Oh my gosh. This thing is invincible. There's the bomber, though. Next turn, it will be within range of the battleship. We need to see an anti-air or something over here. Or a fighter. But I don't think Kanbei can afford a fighter. Fighters are awesome, though. They're one of my favorite units. I mean, artilleries are growing on me, as you can see from this game. These artilleries. How many artilleries do we have? 10 artilleries, dude. The Drake artillery spam is real, man. Drake has learned from his... Oh, wait, Drake's Green Earth. But he's learned from the Blue Moon School of Grit. And he has done the artillery... He has learned well. And now we got 10 artilleries. Oh, but one of the artilleries easily gets popped by that bomber. But the bomber's running out of fuel. It's only got 25 fuel left. And Drake's strategy. Who needs an anti-air? Oh, no, I skipped. No! Who needs an anti-air? Who needs a fighter when you can just drain the bomber out of fuel? These tsunamis over and over are going to drain that bomber out of fuel. We need to see an APC or something to refuel that bomber, or else that bomber's just going to go down. So right now the bomber's taken out a tank. It's taken out an artillery. We'll see if it gets its value back. I think that tank was at 6, but we'll just say for the sake of calculation that it was at full. So tank and artillery is 13k, and the bomber costs 22k. So it needs to make up 9k in order to make its value. But now this city's getting started as well, and in fact Drake is up a city. This city gets interrupted by the bomber and the infantry and the comp. Oh wait, did the bomber attack the battleship? Oh yeah, the bomber did. Okay, the bomber attacks the battleship, knocking it down to 6. Nice roll, but now Collins, it doesn't have that Kanbei defense, and the infantry gets taken out. Doesn't have that Kanbei defense either. That infantry also gets taken out, or whatever was there. I don't know. I don't remember. It's dead now. It's the past. It does not matter. And the artilleries move up, protecting the cities. And there it is. The Sphere of Annihilation. The Neo tank comes in. There's still no counter for the bomber. The bomber can go and hit the Neo tank, although it would get surrounded next turn, for sure. But hey, that is a free shot. Now Colin moves off the port with the battleship in order to have the anti-air come and hit the bomber. Good shot. And trades out the copter right there. Goes in on the artillery as well. This city is getting flipped. This city is getting stalled out. But blue needs to start retaking some of these cities. And blue has lost the mid completely, evacuated, now going on the HQ push. But brown has too many defenses over here. And so blue kind of rotates a little bit towards mid, but it's not going to do a whole lot. And there's the gold rush. Now back up to 37k, and the bomber takes out another artillery. We got 19k in kills for the bomber, and we got another sphere of annihilation over here from blue. Blue is going all in on the HQ. We've got 8 days left to go. Yeah, I told you this is gonna be a long one. And there's the tsunami. The bomber's now down to 10 fuel. This bomber and the artillery and the infantry combined. Oh, can't quite get it, but maybe... No, the copter doesn't even go for it. It goes for a block on this right here, actually. And it takes out that medium tank. And blue is... I mean, this value for Kanbei, though, is insane. But blue's definitely got the unit count advantage and takes out a couple of these weakened units as well. Retreats the copter just to use as an extra blocker, although this 8 HP could take it out. And now back to blue. We'll see what blue can go. Takes out another artillery. So the artilleries are just systematically getting destroyed by the bomber, and that puts the bomber at 25k value destroyed. So it has made up for its cost, but it's got 4 fuel left. So and it uses 5 passively every turn. So I think maybe the APC strategy to refuel the bomber would have been a good idea. But the bomber did get a lot of value taking out these artilleries. The problem is the attack's over here, and the bomber's taking artilleries that are over here. Goes in with the Samurai Spirit, though, and cannot get the roll there, cannot interrupt anything. Takes out that copter, though, allowing this copter to come in and get the interrupt. But blue has converted another city, so blue is up 4 cities, and that's basically 2 flips. Or sorry, blue is down 4 cities. Brown is up 2 cities. 4 cities, but that's 2 flips, right? So if you know, blue can hold on to this and get these 2, then blue ties the game. Also, if blue can get one of these, maybe hold on to this as well, get this. But we got all this brown army right here. I mean, this is looking like the San Francisco poop map with how much brown we got on the board. And backs off over here on the right. And now Colin goes back in. Alright, so now Drake is going in for the attack. Takes out the anti-air, and this tank is pretty much gone. Our medium tank backs off, and now the artillery covers this city as well, but it's already blue, so it doesn't need to worry about that. And these just kind of back off. All they have to do is hold these 2, and Brown will win by capture by day limit. And the bomber goes in, obstructs the port so the battleship can't get healed, and does 2 more damage to it. Anti-air will be able to trade it off, though not an issue at all for blue as far as killing that bomber is concerned. But and there goes the bomber. It has run out of fuel. Drake's fuel drain has paid off. The bomber is gone, but it did make up for its value in mauling artilleries. Now we go in over here and hitting another artillery. Could use this anti-air, but maybe this anti-air wants to go over here. Now the battleship goes back to get repaired. And starting these. Alright, so at least the battleship protects the infantry right here, but all Brown has to do is get that interrupt, and blue is running out of time. 7 turns feels like a lot, but also it's kind of not, because it takes 2 turns to cap something, and 3 if it's interrupted. Even knocking it down to a 9, it makes it 3 turns instantly. And there's the gold rush. Now we've got 30k in the bank, and another rocket comes out from blue. This rocket is ready to assist the 2 spheres of annihilation in this attack right here. But first, we're gonna see some artillery just going ham sandwich, and this tank is taken out. We need an anti-air or copter over here stat. There's a tsunami as well, and nice shot on the Neo tank. Medium tank able to knock it down to 1 HP, and the wall of artillery moves up as well. Copter comes in over here. Clang hits that as well. Going in with more units. Everything moves up. Interrupts that. Copter, I don't know if, yeah, I think, yeah, this anti-air will not be able to trade it off. So, this copter, it's got not enough movement. Not enough movement, and now swaps. We got another tsunami almost in the works. Takes out the artillery. And this copter's surrounded too, by the way. Battleship does damage to that guy. And tank's able to finish him off. copter shooting this guy that just snuck over here and captured this city back for Brown. Now Brown is up 4 cities. Bang, bang, takes out that copter. And Blue has now reconquered the island, but Brown has got the artillery reinforcements ready to come back in. Still 10 artilleries. You got to keep that 10 artillery count. Okay, takes one out. Now down to 9 artilleries. Take one down, pass it around. 9 artilleries left on the board. And the rocket moves up as well. Rocket, though, maybe if medium tank can like kill this, then I don't know if the rocket can get around, or the copter can get around and hit the rocket. But this Neo tank there, it's now in artillery range and gets taken out there by that. And Colin's back in, so you know Drake's already attacking. Takes out the copter as well, and now the game is pretty much snowballed. Bang, 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 another tsunami. Takes out infantry right there, saves it, goes in for the shot, does 2 damage to the battleship, which will get healed, but it will cost some money. And now we might see an HQ push, actually. We still have to have, and the battleship's actually in artillery range as well. These artilleries are just doing major work over here. And this is I'm getting educated on how to use artilleries, because this game is absolutely insane when it comes to artillery usage. Clang. Okay, battleship is not going down without a fight. It's 4 damage to artillery, takes out that infantry. We don't have enough infantry from Blue to be able to capture these cities, and that's a big problem. Blue's doing a good job of fitting the numbers of Brown, but can't, like, I don't know, goes for an attack here. That's a little silly in my opinion. Rocket goes on the city right here. It's protected by the infantry, but this medium tank can probably take out that, and then the Neo tank can come hit the rocket. That rocket is just hanging, basically. That 8 HP infantry is not going to do enough unless you switch to Kanbei, and even then it might not even be enough. Okay, there's the switch to Kanbei. Goes in, bang, takes out that copter, no problem. Now this infantry will start this city as well, and does just, these 2 are trading shots. Needs some counters, maybe need like a tank over here to counter these anti-airs though. And Neo tank actually takes out that infantry, and now the medium tank goes in, knocks that rocket down to 5, and both those expensive units are outside of the rocket's range, so the rocket can only shoot at this artillery, and which is also pointed at the rocket as well. And this is yeah, Brown has now, even though he got a lot of value because Kanbei is in, Brown has now cleaned up. Brown is up 9 units, 11 artilleries. Dang. These artilleries are showing how to like just go ham sandwich. Okay, I don't know where my brain was going there. It just short-circuited. But now we got a morale boost from Blue. It's day 31. Blue's got to start these captures quickly. Takes out that copter though, no problem. Interrupts that, you have to. Takes out that infantry and takes out that one. And takes out that artillery right there. This infantry goes back to get healed, but you still need to start these caps. You need more infantry. Starts this. Blue needs to start threatening cities, and Brown backs off, knowing that Blue has to push it. But this city's going through. It goes through. Now Brown is up 6 cities. Blue needs to get 3 flips in order to tie the game. But we've got more shots coming in over here. The rocket retreated. It's safe to shoot at one of these vehicles, but it's not going to be able to do enough. Brown has now lost the right side, or Blue has lost the right side, and Brown goes in, takes out the copter right there. There's another tsunami coming in just for extra. And a bunch of other stuff moves up. And now another Drake swap. The rocket deals a solid 3 damage to that Neo tank, but it is not going to be enough. Goes for a couple rolls there, can't quite get him. Takes out an artillery, but that medium tank's going to trade out. And Blue is basically... Blue needs to... Yeah, doesn't have enough infantry. Blue needs to get this with this infantry, and that's pretty... No, I mean, Blue needs to take it in 3 cities, and that's pretty much impossible. You're not getting this. You're not getting this. You're not getting this. You're not getting this. This infantry is too far away, and the artilleries are going to just shell it. Maybe get these 2 and this one. I think that's what Blue has to do, but I think either way, it is pretty much over. Goes in on the artilleries, goes in on the anti-air, and we're just, this artillery is also going to get a shot. There's a gold rush up to 21k. but it is not going to be enough. Another infantry out of here. Need to see that. Need to get those caps started, but we see a bunch of other engagements over here. Artilleries just go ham sandwich on these units, knocking these tanks down. But Kanbei is in, so these tanks are not going to die. And more artilleries come in. 9 artilleries right now. That's not good enough. We need to see double-digit artilleries. Bang, knocks that infantry down to 1. Can't survives though. Goes after the rocket. Can't do anything with that 1 HP copter. But the Neotech will be able to do some substantial damage. And the only thing in the rocket's range is this 1 HP infantry right there. So Ground's done a good job of neutralizing the rocket. And the battleship able to take out that capping infantry. But it's day 33. This infantry has to start this. And we just don't have enough infantry from Blue to be able to start anything. And there's the start right there. Going in. But it is not going to be enough. Blue does not have enough turns to win the game. And there it goes. Brown is going to start cleaning up with these artilleries. Goes in with that. Rocket's down to 1 HP. Everything moves up. Hits the battleship for kicks. And yeah, it is the second to last turn, but Blue is not going to get 3 flips. And the game is over. Also, this is guaranteed. Well, in the battleship, yeah, that's guaranteed. So, I mean, this game is over. We can just go through it real fast. Yeah, I mean, this city didn't go through yet. We'll go through next turn, guaranteed. But it is day 34, so the game's over. Does some more damage there, but the game's unfortunately over. And there's this Samurai Spirit. Takes a couple shots. It's not going to be good enough. And Brown has won by day limit. Ahead 8 cities. So yeah, what a crazy game. There's no shot the stats graphs works. What a crazy game. Crazy game. Thank you for the submission. And basically we had the story of this game. We had a really good push over here. And instead of like pushing and onto the HQ, Blue decided to push to the middle. Lost that middle fight because these artilleries were just going absolute destructo mode and destroyed everything. And I think some like untimely switches to Colin, but Drake was always going to play for that. And then Drake was able to always kind of dominate this corner right here, and Blue was not able to get those cities back, so slow burn there. And then once Drake won the middle and Blue invested too much, I mean, that's kind of the tipping point of the game. So yeah, a very long video indeed, definitely my longest one. But hey, if you stuck around this long, thank you very much for watching. And you can tell me in the comments if I'm out of my gourd with my analysis. It really does help me improve as a player and an analyst. And I'll see you in the next one.